Okay, so I recorded this, not this, but I recorded a version of this last night. I just threw it up there real quick. I've been experimenting with Streamlabs actually splitting the audio so I can actually have like my game audio at one level and my recording audio at different levels, and I can kind of mix them and stuff. Something I'm experimenting with, and that experiment backfired yesterday because when I uploaded the video, I don't think YouTube caught the two audio tracks, and it just went with the audio track of from the camera, which is nothing. So I guess I actually have to do video editing, which I hate doing video editing. But whatever. I got my green screen up now. I did have to crop it. It's weird. My green screen's not that great. Eventually, I want to actually get a proper one. It's just like a green bedroom sheet. It's not even like a chroma key color that I know of. And whatever. I'm getting off track very early on in this. So, um, recently I have been, well, for a while now, not like years, but for the last couple months, I've been watching Malik. I think it's Malik VR over on Twitch. He plays a lot of VR games. Specifically, I was watching him because he was playing Elite Dangerous. But recently, I know he's ventured into playing Star Citizen using the Vorpex mod. And I thought that's really cool. And I started kind of doing some research and reading up on it. And on like December 6th, I think it was, I bit the bullet and I bought Vorpex. It's like a $40 program. It's basically a VR injector. It takes non-VR games and attempts to make them VR. Because as of right now, Star Citizen does not have VR support, which I understand it's an alpha, but I still think it's kind of silly that apparently it had VR support years ago, and now it doesn't. And it's something that was promised early on, and we still don't have it. And when you look at I'm getting off track, I know, but whatever. When you look at the numbers of like the people who are playing Star Citizen and the people who have VR, those numbers are very close. So it's like, and I know I'm on a tangent here, but I looked up like the average number of players of Star Citizen across like a year, and it was somewhere in like 500,000 players. I think at the highest it was 700,000. At the lowest it was like 400,000. I went to, or actually it was like 300,000, something like that. I don't remember. Hey, I just did a quick Google search, so my numbers could be completely wrong. And then I just went to Steam, and I looked at the number of users playing VR for the month of November, and it was 1.8% of Steam users were using VR, which is 1.8% of, I think it's 25 million players on Steam, is like 400,000. So those numbers, Star Citizen has more players playing than there are people playing VR, at least on Steam, but those numbers are comparable. They're close. I digress. So I picked up some Vorpex, and all the documentation and everything I read shows that it should, in theory, out of the box work. I should just be able to load the program, run a couple things. I have to do, because Star Citizen uses Easy Anti-Cheat, and Vorpex is not whitelisted by Easy Anti-Cheat. You do have to do a little workaround, which the point of this video is not to demonstrate how that works. The point of the video is for me to express the process in which I have attempted to make it work, so that way maybe somebody else can go, hey, here's the step you've missed. Anywho, you have to do the Easy Anti-Cheat workaround, which CIG has said it's okay to do this workaround for the time being until either they implement VR or Vorpex gets whitelisted by Easy Anti-Cheat, whichever one happens first. So I do all that. I have a Oculus Quest 2. Now, I know from playing other VR games, such as Elite Dangerous, I wanted to say Distant Worlds, Elite Dangerous, DCS, Microsoft Flight Simulator, Half-Life Alyx, VR Chat, and several other games that like Rolling Line and American Truck Simulator, and even iRacing and stuff like that. I know my computer can run VR. I know my network can run VR because I use Airlink. I know my network can handle it from playing other games. In fact, I know my network is powerful enough that we can have there's 4 people in a house. All 4 of us have VR headsets. All 4 of us play VR using Airlink at the same time. We have done it before. So I know my router is capable of doing it. I have line of sight to my router. My router is 4 feet, not even 3 feet away from me in that direction. I can see the router. Actually, well, yeah, I can see the router from here. I have a book partially blocking it, but there's no way I'm getting any interference between the router and my headset from 4 feet away that would cause any problems. On top of that, the problems aren't necessarily that. Anywho, so I do all of these steps, and I load into Star Citizen. And I can see that Vorpex is in fact hooking Star Citizen. It says, little box pops up, hooking Star Citizen, and it installs all the hook helpers and everything. I get into game, and there is what they call edge peak mode, where you click the middle mouse button, and it takes the VR view and makes it a flat screen, as if it's just a monitor sitting on a desk in front of you, so that way you can see everything. So I toggle that, I can see everything, cool. I toggle back to full VR, and I have actually gone through the options, and I make sure that Vorpex is running in full VR mode. And I have some level of degree of head tracking. I can look, right, left, up, down. And the view, like the camera view actually looks where I want it to look. And that's half working. I don't have full 6 degrees of motion, but whatever. But I have no VR. I have no depth. And one of the ways I test this is I do the one eye trick. And this is something to understand, you have to do it kind of before you put a VR headset on. So you take your hand, like you're about to karate chop something. You put your thumb up against your nose with your pointer finger between your eyes, like so. Right? I'm trying to get it lined up so that way it kind of works right. Now, since the camera is only one point of view, if I put it here, you just get a blur, right? If I close my left eye, my right eye sees the back of my hand. If I close my right eye and open my left eye sees the palm of my hand. This is stereoscopic vision. And the way VR works is it renders a scene twice from the perspective of your left eye and your right eye. And then it renders those two images in front of you, tricking your brain into thinking it's seeing one image, and that as it gets closer, bigger, the differentiation and all that stuff makes 3D. And that is the simplest explanation of stereoscopic vision and how VR works. That's the simplest explanation I've got. When I am in Star Citizen VR, I am not getting stereoscopic vision. I am getting effectively a big flat screen wrapped around my face. It's basically, if we take this NHRL sticker sheet and put it here in front of me, like this, like so, this is what I see when I am in edge peak mode. And the camera view goes like this. Actually, when I'm in edge peak mode, I can move my head around and the screen stays here. When I toggle back to VR mode, instead of it being 2 separate images in front of each eye, I'm actually going to turn like this, that way my face is closer to the microphone. It just does this. It's just doing this. It's just wrapping the image around my face, and then I can move around like this, and it's great, and I can see, the viewport, that's normal, but I'm not getting any depth. And the way I test this is I will look at something in game, and I'll get it as close as I can to my face, and I will close one eye, and then I'll close the other eye. And if both eyes are seeing the same image, there should be some differentiation. There should be, if I'm looking at something right here, I should be able to see the palm of my hand or the back of my hand. I'm not getting that. And I do this by walking and standing, looking at the corner of a wall and closing one eye and then the other. It's like, nope. On top of that, Track IR, the software for Track IR, is showing that I have full 6 degrees of motion. 6 degrees being up, down, left, right, forward, back, vertical, right? For the horizontal, up and down. When I'm in Star Citizen, or when I'm playing Elite Dangerous, or more specifically when I'm playing something like DCS, I can do that. I can sit up in the cockpit of my F-18 and look around. I can lean forward, really, really look at my gauges. I can turn my head around like this and look at my vertical stabilizers. when I'm in Star Citizen with the VR mode, I'm only getting... It's almost as if someone took a metal rod and shoved it up my character's butt all the way up to the back of his neck. So he's just like... Because that's the only motion I have. If I go to lean forward, let's say I wanted to look at this sticker sheet and I want to get a closer look out of it while I'm in my cockpit. If I was, say, in an actual airplane, I would just do this, and my face would get closer, and the image would get larger, and I could see better detail. If I'm flying an F-18 in I'm flying an F-18 in DCS. They have so many games, so many acronyms. If I'm flying an F-18, I can lean forward, and my controls stay there. My controls stay mounted where they would be in the real world. In Star Citizen with the VR, if I want to get closer to the sticker sheet, as I lean forward, the sticker sheet moves away. It's perpetually here. I can look like this, and if I try to stand up, it moves with me. Like, it just... The 6 degrees of freedom isn't working. The depth isn't working. Now, I have tried running Star Citizen in administrator mode. I've tried running Vorpex in administrator mode. I've tried running... Track IR in administrator mode. I've tried using Steam VR. I've tried using AirLink. I've tried using a cable link. I've tried screen resolutions that my monitors can't support. I've tried shutting every other program on my computer off and only running Star Citizen and the VR stuff. It shows that it's hooking. It shows that I think it's trying to work, but I don't know what's going on. I've tried geometry mode. I have tried Z adaptive, Z normal. I've turned the little sliders for the VR, strength from 0 to 5, as high as they go. I've changed every slider in every direction. I've tried using the VRSC Discord. What is his name? He made the video that I've been following. Chachi Sanchez, he made a tutorial video on how to get it working, and that's the video that I've been following, and I'm on his Discord, and I can't get it to work. I don't know why it's not working. I've posted on the Vorpex forums, and as of last I looked, I haven't checked this morning, there's been no update. No one has given me any input. I tried running all the programs in administrator mode. I've tried Z adaptive, Z normal, G3D. I've activated the what is it? The G. I got to load up Vorpex, or something. I'm not even looking at it right now. The G3D shader authoring, and none of that has worked. I don't know what step. I feel like there's a step I'm missing or a setting I'm missing, but nobody knows what it is. And I've come to 3 conclusions. There's 3 possible things that are happening here. One, and this is what I think is most likely happening, is that Vorpex is working correctly, and it is actually proper depth 3D. The problem is other games like DCS, Flight Simulator, Half-Life Alyx and stuff have set the bar of what I should expect of a 3D VR experience so high, and Vorpex is only able to provide like this level of an experience that it's subpar to me, and it's not at the level that I think it should be, but it's working. It's just not working at the level that I should be, and that's my issue. I don't know. I don't think that's the case. Because the way I've explained it to other people, they're like, no, that it should be working exactly like those other games. That's the first thing, is that it's working, it's just not working at the level that I expect, and I'm not able to get it to the level that I expect, and it's not able to operate at the level that I expect. And I'm just interpreting it not being at the level that I expect it to be at as it not working. Option 2 is that there is a step that I'm missing, and I don't know what that step is. There's a step, a setting, an option, a file that I need to delete or edit or whatever that nobody has told me about, that nobody knows about, or whatever, that I'm missing. And once I figure that setting out or option or whatever, boom, it'll work. That is probably also very likely. And in fact, option 2 is, I think, the most likely situation, with option 1 being like the second most likely. I'm putting them not in the right order, but whatever. Option 3, and this is the least likely thing. I don't believe this is the case, but it could very well be the case. Again, I don't believe it is, but it could be. It's an option. It's something that I have been like, maybe this is why it's not working, is that the Vorpex mod doesn't work at all, and the people who are saying it is are absolutely full of shit. I don't mean to be rude to them, but that's the only other conclusion I can draw from this. I've been working on this. I spend about an hour or two a day trying to figure it out, and then I get frustrated, and I had a sneeze, and I lost it. I spent about an hour or two a day since when I bought it, like on December 6th, trying to figure it out. And I've been on the Discord, and I've made 2 other videos about this. And I'm at the point where if I can't figure this out, I'm just going to try and, like, I can get my money back because I paid for it through PayPal, and I can do a cash back thing on there for another couple weeks. I have not been able to get Vorpex to work with any other. I've only tried it with Farm Simulator, so I don't know if it would work in it. Well, I've tried it with Run 8 as well, but I absolutely know it won't work in Run 8. I was just like, yeah, fuck it, let's try it. I don't really have any other games, like, because almost every other game I have has VR support. So it's like I only have 2 games that don't have VR support that Vorpex would work with. So, now one thing I do know is Vorpex is doing 3D. So what I can do is I can go into Vorpex, and I can go into from full VR mode to immersive cinematic mode, and it renders a 3D like you're sitting in a movie theater or a lounge or a loft or whatever. And all that is in 3D. I even get the little... Where are they? You're there. I even get the little hand controller puck, and I can go like this and move it around and put it right here, and it's in full depth 3D. So I know the issue is somewhere with Vorpex talking to Star Citizen. And there's some setting between Vorpex and Star Citizen, some option, some miscommunication, something there that is preventing it from working. I don't know what it is. I'm at a loss. And if I can't figure this out in the next, like, I don't know, couple days, I might just be like, fuck it. Get my money back. I'm that frustrated with it. But this video's gone on a little bit longer than the previous one. I do think if you guys have anything that might work, please suggest it. You know, float this video around too, because like stuff and things. I'm going to be live streaming. I'm going to try and my live stream schedule's all wonky because my work schedule's all wonky. But I have my Twitch channel will be linked below. You want to come hang out? I probably won't be in VR unless I'm playing Elite or something. Unless I somehow, between when I release this video and go live again, probably won't be in VR, unfortunately. But and one of these days I will get a proper green screen. I have one in my shopping cart or on my wish list on Amazon, and I keep thinking to buy it, and then it's like, no, not yet. I don't have the money for it. Whatever. Anyways, I don't want to ramble on any longer. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, check out my Twitch channel, link below. Or don't like and subscribe. I don't care. It's your YouTube account.